Hey everyone, Ian King here, editor of Smart Profits Daily with your weekly market insights video. Joining me, my friend and colleague, and also blue polo shirt aficionado, Steve. I guess he got the memo today. Steve Fernandez. Steve, what's shaking this week?
Well, I'm gonna have to go change my shirt really quick, but it's really it sounds like more of the same. Wall Street is really moving into crypto. It looks like Citigroup's now carving out a division specifically for digital assets in their wealth management arm. So they're looking to add crypto exposure for their clients, and that just adds to the other institutions that are already making those moves, like Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley, for example.
So the empire strikes back. Basically, cryptocurrency launched its first initiative, decentralized finance, which we've covered at length on these market insights videos. And now it sounds like Wall Street is firing back with some offerings of their own, although they're not really trying to compete with DeFi as they are sort of exposing their clients to these digital assets and giving them away to custody. Is that correct?
Absolutely. It's relatively a slow rollout right now. It looks like. I mean, who knows how long this will take and how quote unquote risky they'll allow their clients to gain exposure to.
Mhm.
It may not be like a Coinbase or a Binance where there's a ton of digital assets that you can choose from.
Right. You know, what I find interesting about that is obviously what a lot of what a DeFi does is it tries to take the traditional banking services and put them on the blockchain. So I'm talking about making loans and borrowing and trading, obviously, with decentralized exchanges and derivative contracts. And it almost sounds to me like the banks are creating sort of Frankenstein's monster here. You're exposing your clients to these digital assets because, a lot of the buy side now wants cryptocurrency exposure. But in the end, I mean, I feel like, they're building something that could do away with a lot of the bank's traditional businesses. I mean, who likes going to I mean, for the retail customers, at least, who likes going to the bank anymore? I mean, I don't like going to the bank. Do you like going to the bank, Steve?
No, I haven't been to the bank in a very long time.
Okay. So, but let me just give our viewers just a little bit of insight on like how DeFi works, because like I said, we've discussed this before. And so think about an interstate highway. Maybe some of you live on the East Coast along I-95, and you know that you pay tolls on this highway. And then when you pay the tolls, it's used to upkeep the roads, and you have to pay it to a centralized government organization. They take care of it. DeFi is like a toll road that is autonomously taken care of by anyone who wants to participate in the network. So there's not a centralized state or government that's taking care of this toll road. It basically anyone who is a developer and has development skills can go in and fix this toll road. What's really interesting about DeFi protocols like Uniswap and Aave, and a lot of them are evolving and they keep bringing out new versions. But once the infrastructure is in the wild, it pretty much just runs on its own. I mean, is that correct, Steve? I mean, you go to Uniswap and there are certain rules you have to abide by. But if you want to trade your Bitcoin for Ethereum or your Ethereum for another crypto token, it's just there. It's like there's not like 1,000 people working on it. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah. I mean, everything is pretty much using a smart contract, which automates, it automates the entire process. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, I mean, with banks looking to get exposure to that, you could, like you said, kind of hypothetically say they're really getting their own poison. But if they don't, they're going to become that company that doesn't offer crypto. As every Wall Street institution begins offering some sort of DeFi exposure.
Right. And it's just, a lot of this has to do with getting rid of the middleman. So if I want to go to Uniswap and trade a smart contract, I'm trading against another individual user of cryptocurrency. I'm not trading against a market maker or a centralized exchange. And so that's a lot of Wall Street business right there that I think is just going to be sort of evaporated in the same way that we saw a lot of traditional brick and mortar commerce become e-commerce along the way. So that's how I like to think about it. And in another sense too, I mean, think about what Netflix did to Blockbuster Video. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, Friday night, you'd drive to the video store, you'd peruse through the aisles. You would be so angry when all the new releases were out, right, Steve? And then now you don't have to worry about all the new releases sold out. You just go to Netflix. You don't have to go anywhere. You can do it from your own couch. And so it's sort of a similar analogy, except with cryptocurrencies, it's going to be anyone who owns cryptocurrencies can participate in this and become a market maker. And so it's going to unlock the value of, basically idle capital that's sitting around. Is that how you see it as well?
Yeah, at a high level, I agree with that. I think Wall Street, they will find a way to try to make money off of whatever, comes their way, obviously. So what I foresee happening is, obviously, if they're losing, whatever it might be, order flow or a commission business because of DeFi, or, maybe they're not getting interest rates that they were in terms of lending, they may try to participate in the protocols themselves with volume, which, would still be good for DeFi. It'd improve liquidity and make it, I guess, quote unquote, less risky potentially. But at the same time, DeFi participants may not be able to get these lucrative returns that they are now. I still expect they're going to be higher than, if you were to go through a banking alternative, just because there's not going to be those like human capital fees or anything like that. But yeah, in general, I mean, I expect Wall Street to still try to take part, and probably in a big way too.
I mean, the Goldman Sachs decentralized exchange just sounds like that video meme of, I forget who the comedian was, but he dressed up like a teenager and he's carrying around a skateboard, and I'm sure like the larger crypto community is not going to be too enthused about Goldman Sachs launching their own, quote unquote, decentralized protocol. So we'll see how that actually works out. Steve, I want to thank you for joining me today. All you viewers out there, any comments you have, please leave them underneath our video. We'd love to hear from you. Also, if you like what we have to say, please smash that like button. I say this every week. It helps us get our content out to our more viewers. I'm Ian King. He's Steve Fernandez. Have a great weekend. We will speak to you again next week. Thank you.